Welcome back to the Becka Hays Show.
Literally welcome back because you just got back from...
Trip from hell. I had, for those of you that don't follow me on social media, I booked a trip like months ago to Orlando, Florida to surprise my kids for Christmas, Disney World, the whole fun trip. Well, I have a almost 5-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I traveled by myself with kids.
She's very brave.
And I'm alive.
Right? That's great.
So brave.
Oh, my God.
Such bad timing. If there's one thing that I have learned with Becca is that timing is not her strong
It's not.
suit.
It's not.
So-
I'm very spontaneous. And I'm just like, oh, that's a great idea. And then it gets closer to it, and I'm like, uh-oh, what did I do?
Well, first, with your timing, you think that you underestimate like how long something's going to take.
Possibly, yeah. You might be onto something, Matt.
She'll have me say, she'll like literally tell me to go do something. And then right as I start it, she's like, is it done yet? I'm like, no, I'm still trying to finish it. Well, have you finished the other task that I told you to do? And I said, well, no, I haven't even finished it.
Yeah, right.
So there's that.
One of my weaknesses.
Yeah, it's just like the spontaneous of it.
I shine in other places.
It's true.
Exactly.
That's true. So here you go. Here's some glitter for you.
Well, thank you.
But all in all, I missed you. So welcome back.
Oh, you did? I think you're lying.
It's partial miss.
Just joking. Anyways, I'm your host, Becca Hayes. Thank you so much for joining us to the Becka Hays Show. Your co-host, Matt Johnson. And
Hi.
we have a very special guest with us all the way in from New York, Miss Coach Paula Grooms.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
look at
you.
you. You got the glitter
Oh,
button.
wow.
Oh, my gosh, that was so kind of you, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, are you-
so excited.
He loves his buttons.
That's good.
He's good at pressing buttons.
Gadget stuff. Yeah.
Well, so we have Miss Coach Paula Grooms with us today, and you are just such an amazing woman, such a strong woman, and I admire you, and that's why we are partnering up, which we're going to get to about in a minute. We're going to tell you what she's up to. But you are the author of this wonderful book, and we have podcasts together, and I'll get into our story in a minute, but Why Won't He Commit? She's the author of this book, and then also you can see in front of us, those that are watching the YouTube. I love this book. It is so good, and it really puts a different perspective on the male or about the male. Like, really, I read it.
Yours, Matt.
Well, that's a way of introducing. Hi there. I'm Coach Paula, a dating and relationship coach, licensed social worker, and author of that book you just heard about, Why Won't He Commit? How a Man Decides to Make You the One. And that was me last week, or gosh, I'm losing track of time now, a little while ago on the Becka Hays Show with Becca and Matt, and it was a great time in Salt Lake City talking about my new One Love self-help online course. I went there to promote it and meet Becca because she had been on my podcast several times. She is a Wonder Woman, as you can hear, a single mom with a 5 and 6-year-old. And she just came back when we were talking about that from Disney World, taking the kids during COVID by herself. And we had a great time on the podcast. I actually did 2 episodes with Becca and Matt talking about everything under the sun. It's really worthwhile to listen, and certainly it's entertaining, and I recommend her podcast because she is so real. And that's what I really wanted to meet her because of that. You know, it's interesting. You listen to people on their podcasts, their shows. You see them on social media. I even interacted, on her podcast, via Zoom and all of that. But it's so different when you meet someone in person. And that's actually a great segue into meeting someone online. This is what my my journey was all about going out to be on Becca's podcast, was to talk about my One Love Online to Never Ending Love self-help course, because my course, One Love Online to Never Ending Love, is 7 simple steps to digital dating success. And I have worked in a 12-week coaching program with women for many years now in helping them navigate online in a way that produces great results. And that, I understand, can be prohibitive for many women. And some people don't want to be working weekly with a coach. I must say I highly recommend it, because I understand that the pitfalls and self-help can only go so far, but let me tell you, this program is very comprehensive. And actually, Becca and Matt talk about that, because I had them review the program prior to doing our podcast together. Again, it's episode 5. And I believe it's episodes 5 and 6. You can see, go to any, go to Apple Podcasts. Hers is a new podcast because she switched over from a podcast she was doing previously called The Good Girl. And so this is a great venture for Becca and Matt. And they're really smart, really fun, and as I said, really real. And to me, that is everything. I went there to discuss my One Love self-help course that I launched just when I went out there. This was about the launch. And I talk about how I came to doing this course in a self-help only platform, although you get one individualized coaching call with me that is really great as well, because you get all your questions answered from the self-help course. It's just really exciting, because I know that this method I have of doing online produces results. I mean, dates, and most importantly, meetings and dates with men who, because of the 3rd step, have put you in the right category in their male mind for a real relationship, not just for fun. And that's what it's all about, because as we know, online dating can be frustrating and feel like a serious time waster. And I'm all about women not wasting their time, especially online. So I talk about how I came to doing the course that has been, as I said, a 12-week program whereby women get weekly coaching calls with me and actually have the chance for more. And I thought about a client in that program. This is how it came to me, because she is in Asia. And due to the time difference, she really couldn't be on many of the calls. I think she was on a total of 2 of the calls. She did some individualized calls with me, but she was only on 2 of the coaching calls throughout the 12 weeks. But yet, because of the adjunct program materials I provided online for all the women in the 12-week program, she was able to follow the 7 simple steps, and she's actually married now. In 1 year's time, she got a proposal. And now it's about 1.5 years, and she's been married for several months. And it showed me that it could be possible to do a self-help course if I made it very comprehensive with videos in each module the 7 modules, and I decided to set about doing this program so that women could afford it who couldn't do weekly with me. And I decided also that every woman deserved, no matter the low price point on this, because it's self-help, to have one call with me whereby she could get all her questions answered after following the steps. It's a 7-step course. It has my book in there in a PDF, and it has an audio book. It has, most importantly, that one individualized coaching call that you can have at any time during your lifetime access to the self-help course. And that's what's so amazing about it, because at this price point, you can have lifetime access. So I did this because, what happens is that whenever we set about doing something, it can take several steps and iterations for us to really get serious about something. And we might buy a course, a program, some learning material, and then put it away. And life gets in the way. So I wanted to make it lifetime, because things happen in our lives that go up and down, and it's so important to be able to, come to a program like this when the time is really right. And most importantly, I wanted commitment for every woman to it. And commitment takes right timing. I talk about this under my puppy principle. And I think I talk about it with Becca and Matt on the Becka Hays Show, because I actually went to another city from Salt Lake City, and because it was out on the West Coast, and adopted a puppy. You can see her pics on Instagram, on Facebook. It was right timing for me, a la the puppy principle. It was my time to commit and adopt. And I'm extremely happy with my new little love. So timing is so important for commitment of any type. It has to be the right time. And so with a lifetime access, there will be a right time for you if it's not this right moment. However, I highly encourage, if you're listening to this podcast, that you do it now, because as we know about anything, the price points don't stay the same, and they're lower now than they will ever be. But this will take your online dating to a level that if you are not a complete A dater at this time, meaning you get the man to call you and introduce himself, you go to a first meeting and then he asks you on dates, and then you go on dates and you make him wonder, and then it gets to a relationship and to an I do, well, then this could be for you. Because I go over in this comprehensive instructional series, Your Perfect Profile. I think in episode 1 of the first episode I did, which is episode 5 of the Becca Hayes podcast, we talk about what, she really didn't think about before, about the perfect profile and photos. That's so important. There's a sweet spot of a number, but certainly the type. And I go over all that. I take it to the next level, texting templates, so that you can go from the app to offline to a number, and I tell you all about the proper way in terms of giving a man your number. And of course, number is in quotes because you have to have a burner number. That's easy to have on any smartphone. I go through the 2-step meeting success strategy. Easy breezy scripts I give there to secure your desired dates. And of course, the all-important 3rd step, which is a game-changing approach to whet any man's appetite for more, should he be ready for more. And really, that's what this is all about. Because think of the numbers online these days. And you, as the pretty puppy you are, will be hit with all manner of men coming at you to, is there anything more frustrating than a man sending hi? Oh my gosh, I hear that all the time. I got it all the time online. It's why I want you to go and listen to the Becka Hays Show, because I go through many things that I haven't gone through here on this podcast about my hair-raising experience. That's on the second, part 2, I should say, of the podcast I did. It's pretty, oh boy, I don't want to give it away here, so you should probably listen. But it's that experience when I was online dating all helped me create and solidify the steps I had taken. It was like a research project in a way that I didn't even know I was conducting at the time, but I did, and it really makes things foolproof for you. What I mean by that is so you don't have to deal with the fools and waste your time meeting them. It's so interesting online that we give people, when we see pictures of them, we give them attributes and characteristics that come from our schemas about people. 70% of our communication is nonverbal. We can tend to put all these attributes to a picture that are so not true and false. Because when I say 70% of our communication is nonverbal, that's when we are in person. We are human animals. And it's like an animal looking in a mirror. Why is it that some of them don't even get it when they're looking in a mirror? I'm talking about like dogs, cats. They don't get it because of a number of things. One is smell. Their senses of smell are so much greater than ours. And they don't react to just an image, even when that image is moving, meaning they're running around. Some do, but they immediately tire of it if they, they see themselves in a mirror and they'll jump, and then it's not engaging. So us as human animals, we need to be in person to have our senses understand a lot more. What's happening today is online, we look at a picture, we read a profile, and we think of our vision or understanding of that person, and I would dare say it's not even 1% true. We must meet someone in order to get the full deal, but then how do we not waste our time And the story I tell to Becca and Matt on part 2 of my time with them, it's a little hair raising, and it can certainly happen to anybody, and it does happen. I've heard all manner of ridiculous, awful stories about women going, of course, with all good intentions to meet someone, and it's hairy or so seriously disappointing and frustrating. And because I figured out a way to do this in a high-level way that isn't overtly directive to the man, and that most importantly sets him up for the possibility of something real with you, this is why I call it the all-important third step. It's huge. It allows you to figure out if you want to meet him and get an introductory call. And why that is so important, because a lot of women now say, hey, I'm not into that call because nobody talks on the phone anymore. It's all, through text, let's meet. And I say to stand out and make you a valued woman that a man wants to achieve, this is a game changer to set you up for real success. And it does. I talk to women weekly in the 12-week program that is the program whereby the full meal coaching deal. But this self-help course allows you to get all of that and the ability to talk to me. I go through the 5 R's of texting, the do's and don'ts, everything you need to know to succeed in dating a man after you've met him and you've decided, yes, I'd like to do that. I give bonus strategies. I mean, this is really exclusive content to take your online dating to the next level at an affordable price, going at your own pace. I really give, a crucial step that sets the right tone for the man from the start. And I say it's crucial because, as you know, if you've listened to me at all, that you must be in the right category right from the start. That's even from your pictures, most importantly, certainly your profile, and then in what you do to set the man on a course of achieving your time, attention, and affection, so that he puts you in the category of Freud's, Madonna whore dichotomy. Not my words, but if you follow me, you know all about how vital it is and crucial that a man puts you in the right category from the start to have anything more down the road. I go through exactly what to say and what not to say in those all-important first texts and meetings, etc. I give templates on, it's copy-paste. What you can, when I say paste, meaning paste into your text, certainly onto your virtual brain so that you can spout these things off easily and effectively. Also, I go through when, how, and where for your first meetings. Oh my gosh, so many women are making mistakes they're not even aware of in terms of where and when they are making a first meeting. If you haven't, check out my YouTube video on where to meet and how, ladies, coffee is not a good first meeting at all. It does not set you up for success. And oh yes, I can hear women now, a friend of a friend, she got engaged they first met at coffee, blah, blah, blah. Hey, everything is on a scale, and there are always eclipses of things that happen. But I work with what works best for success, because I don't like gambling. I don't like gambling, the real gambling, and I certainly don't like gambling with the futures of the women that I work with. I work with what has the best statistical chance of working. I don't want you to waste any time if you're online dating and end your frustration and disappointment, because relating in new ways that bring men towards you with the right attitude of wanting and whetting their appetite for real relationships, that's huge. But most importantly, the specific approaches and strategies that shift a man you desire into seeing you as a woman for forever commitment right from the start, not just someone to fool around with and to have fun. It can be as simple as these 7 steps when you do them in this easy fashion. So check out, Becca's podcast, Becka Hays Show. I recommend, if you're doing listening for the entertainment purposes, that you do listen to someone that I can say I know is completely real and is living what you see on social media. That's, to me, worth a lot, because as we know, there's all manner of falsehoods, false advertising, falseness out there on social media, like, here's my life, how incredible it is, how wonderful, I'm a big superstar, blah, blah, blah. And it's such a farce. And I can say unequivocally, having met Becca and Matt now, having supped with them, and thank you for an incredible a dinner afterwards. It was so fun. I met Becca. I met her boyfriend. It was a wonderful time, because of now knowing that I have met someone real, and someone real is promoting what I'm doing in a way that is authentic. We're in a community here of women understanding what it takes to get the love we desire, deserve. And once we understand, we can never go back. And having that community and understanding with other women that are real is really so valuable to me. I had a wonderful time, and I'd love for you to hear her and connect with her, because the reality, the realness of her life and what she's presenting, if you like being entertained and connecting to someone, I highly recommend Becca Hayes. So for you, if you're thinking of online dating and you want to get serious value from something that is not at all expensive, you can go at your own pace, easily connect with me on YouTube. There's all kinds of links there. Instagram, any of my posts about dating, online love, etc. Certainly you can connect with me by going to CoachPaulagrooms.com and clicking on programs, and you'll see the 2 different One Love programs there, the 12-week full course, which you can connect with me on too, because, hey, that's going to take things beyond, in terms of if you're having unique situations that you can do 12 weeks comprehensively with me. It's exponentially taking your love life to the next level. But again, it's not for everyone, and self-help is certainly a way to go that is affordable and on your timing. As you said, everything is about timing. So go to coachpaulagrooms.com, click on programs, and you'll find them there. You can also, if you haven't, take the One Love Dating Test at theonelovedatingtest.com. Find out if you're an A-dater, a bumbler, a circuit breaker, or a digital downer. Most people don't fall on either ends of the scale. They fall somewhere in the middle. And why improvement in one little step can be a game changer for you. I have seen that happen so often. And then it's about feeling what you want to feel and knowing that you want to go the distance, but you get the chance with men from online that when you go in alone and miss a step, it can seriously impact your chances. So check it out at any of those places I just mentioned. And again, check out the Becka Hays Show. And remember, with any man in your life, you want to be making him wonder.
If you've benefited from today's conversation, please subscribe and share. Connect with Coach Paula at makehimwonder.com. There you can take several relationship evaluations, discover her books and other resources, and find out if one of her personalized coaching programs might be right for you.